Hello, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in again. So, back to do another sketch. So, in the current catalogue, there are the sketches, some templates for you to get started with. And so far, I think I've done 3. So today I'm going to do one of the other ones. So I thought I'm liking the look of this one. I love buntings or banners and that, so I do love all that sort of thing. I do a lot of those on my layouts. So we're going to give this sketch a go today. Actually, if I fold it, you're probably not going to be able to see it properly. So we're going to do that particular one there and give it a go. What I'm thinking of using is, let me just move this out the way, is the beautiful, bend the page, the beautiful Florals in Bloom. And I'm going to use these particular ones. So, colours in these are just gorgeous. They're all double-sided. I have used this range a lot recently. I've done lots of fussy cutting with this one. But on the other side, it's a little bit more of a neutral colour. So I'm going to use the 2 out of the paper range here. I just think they work beautifully together. And then I've got these 2 cardstock as well that I think the colours will work great with it. So that's what I'm thinking of using today. Of course, we'll probably do some inking and some stamping. But yeah. Let's see where we can take this sketch here with these papers. Okay, so what I'm thinking of doing is, instead of doing the one bunting, I guess you call it banner, whatever you want to call it, dovetail, I'm thinking I might do multiple ones. So still working with that sketch. I'm thinking I might do multiple ones and do them at different lengths in the pattern papers I've got here. So I've got the cardstock. Now what I love about the cardstock is that it's double-sided. So there's a lighter side and a darker side. So you can see this is the lighter side, this is the darker side. And I think that I like the darker side of this one. Now, I'm still learning all the names of them, so I do apologize, but if you'd like to know the name of the cardstock, please let me know. So that's what I'm thinking. I want to do multiple banners in different lengths down here to create that one big banner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these into different thicknesses, and we'll start creating our banners. Right, so I have cut some strips at multiple thicknesses, some 1 inch, I think I did 1 3/4 and 2 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of stagger them because I don't want them all to be in a straight line. So I'm going to stagger them. I'm going to dovetail them and we'll trim them down. And then I am actually thinking I might add in, this is one of the other papers in the range. I might even add in just some really thin strips of this one as well, just to add a little bit more dimension to the page. So what I'll do is I'll dovetail these and cut them down to the lengths that I want them. And also we're on this one, they've just got the one photo. So I'm thinking you could do one 5x7 photo. So one 5x7 photo on that. So then, or you could, even if you wanted to, you could do a 6x4 and even a couple of 3x4s next to it. So you can certainly use multiple photos if you want to, or you could just do the 5x7. So I'm going to cut these down to size, and then we'll start creating our banners. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to ink the edges as well. I love inking on all my pages. I just love the effect that it gives. So I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss. It's probably the closest color that I've got at the moment. So I'm still building up my stash, and I think that that'll work really nicely. So I'm just going to ink the edges and add a little bit more dimension to them. So I'll go ahead and I'll ink all these edges, and then I'm going to ink around the edge of my layout as well. I just think that will be really nice, and then we might even do some stamping in the background, make a little bit more texture in the background. So I'll get these all inked up and see how we go with that and move to the next stage. Okay, so I've inked those and I have adhered those down. So I'm going to plan this layout to be a 5x7 photo, but like I said, you could quite easily do 6x4 photos on here and a couple of 3x4. So it all depends on what photos you have got that you're wanting to use it. So, but I'm going to plan it to be a 5x7 photo. So I've just cut out a photo mat for my photo and just working out where I'm going to be roughly putting it, because what I want to do is add in a couple of smaller banners or buntings in random places. So I want to be able to, I don't want to have to put them through the whole way. So I'm just sort of working out, I just want to do a couple of smaller ones and in this darker shade as well. I just had a couple of scraps of this actually, so I thought I will use them up. So I might just do a couple of random ones here and there. Not sure that I'm actually loving that, but we'll leave it there for now. I do have some of the little scraps too that I cut off the top. So I can still use these as some little extra buntings. I might even cut them in half. Let's do that. Might even cut them in half so they're thinner. And we can use those as well if we want to and layer them. So there's like, I could do that as well. So like I said, I'm not 100% sold on these. I might even just put them at the underneath instead of at the top. Just create a bit more of an effect down the bottom there. But also what I want to do is, so I'll just move those out the way till I'm 100% that I want to do them. I want to do something in the background. And also in the sketch, there is a cluster here in the corner, and also we've got a little bit of a space here for your title. So I'm not 100% sure what my photo is going to be at this stage to do my title, but I'm going to figure out, let's work on doing a cluster in this top corner as well. So, and then I want to do some sort of inking and stamping. So I actually would like to do some shading in behind here. So I probably shouldn't have stuck this down, but that's okay. What I want to do is create a bit of a darker point here, because that's where I want to sort of work my cluster in that top corner. So you can just slowly build that color up in the background there and work out. I could even do some fussy cutting with the paper, but just starting off lightly. I'm just tapping off onto I've just got a scrap bit of paper there, but I just am starting really lightly and then just slowly increasing the pressure there. So I'm also thinking I might do some down the bottom here. I'm not sure that you'll be able to see it super clearly on the camera because it is only a slight difference in the color, but it does just add just a little bit of a definition down there. I'm not sure that you can really see that. And then let's think of what we can do for our cluster in this corner. All right, so I've just sort of been having a look through my stash because I don't have a lot of the stamps at this stage and I'm still working on building up my stash. I thought what I might do is use the Layers of Beauty decorative mask and create a beautiful floral mask and cut it out, do some fussy cutting, and I might use that in this corner here. So I'm going to have a little play and work on this mask and see how that turns out. Okay, so the Layers of Beauty decorative mask, I am absolutely loving this mask. So beautiful. So it has 5 different masks and they're all numbered. So I haven't got them in order, so let's pop them in order. So it's number 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. So you start with obviously number 1, and what I love is that you can line them up in the same place every time. So we're going to start with number 1. I'm just going to use this top corner here, and what I do is I just line that up with my corner, so you can just work out where you're going to be placing it. And then there's just this little cutout here, so with a pencil I just mark that, just so you know you're lining up in the same spot every time with each mask. And what I also like to do is I just got some washi tape, because this is removable, and I just will adhere that so that it won't move. And like I said, I know that the washi tape, I can pull that up with no worries about it ripping my paper or anything. So you may have a removable tape that you can use, but I just use some washi tape because I have got loads of it. Love my washi tape. All right, so, and then what you need to do is, obviously, like I said, you're starting on number 1. I'm going to just start really lightly, and I am going to use the Blackberry Bliss. But I am going to sort of stamp it off, and I'm just going to go very lightly to begin with. I'm going to start on the edge of my mask and just work in. So I'm hardly putting any pressure on that at all, because I don't want to do this too dark. I'm just going to slowly build up that colour. I'm thinking I'm going to do all the flowers the same colour. You could do a different colour if you wanted to, but I think I'm going to just stick with this one today. I'm going to leave the leaves because I'm going to use that, do a different colour for them. If you wanted to, if you were a bit nervous about maybe going over your leaves, just get a post-it note and cover those so that you know you're not going to go over them. And if you were going to do these in different colours, you would do the same. Cover them. Just slowly building up that colour. And then we will work through all of the masks one at a time until we get to our finished result. So I've finished that decorative mask. Isn't it just beautiful? So pretty, just gorgeous. And that's just using 2 colors stamps. I used Just Jade and Blackberry Bliss for this particular one, but I'm so thrilled with how that's turned out. So pretty. So I'm going to cut that out now and we will get back to embellishing our page. Okay, so I want to do some work on my background because for me it's a little bit, I don't know, not boring, but I like more, some more stamping and just a little bit more texture in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little bit of a play. I'm just going to move those out the way because I don't want to get anything on those, but I've had a little practice with doing some splattering. I don't have a great brush to do it, but I'm going to give it a go. And I'm also I'm thinking I might use this script stamp. I absolutely love this stamp set. So this is the Elements of Text. I have used it so much. I absolutely love it. The splatters, the text, everything. So what I'm going to use is this round one here. So I'm just going to pop it on my block. And I'm thinking I want to do half here, and I might do a half circle down the bottom here. So I want to mask it off so that I'm not going to be stamping on this part of the layout. So I might just cover that over so that we don't get any ink on there. And then I'm going to use the Blackberry Bliss. I'm just going to ink up the stamp. I'm really only going to need half of it, so I really only need this side. So I'm just going to ink that up. I don't want it to be perfectly stamped, if that makes sense. I want it to have a little bit of texture to it. So I'm just going to stamp that off. And always make sure you've got your stamp up the right way, the text. And I'm just going to pop that there and lift. And you can see I've got it just on that part of my layout, which I love that. And then I'm thinking I might there might be enough ink, whoops, on the top there. If not, I might re-ink it. I'll just do along the top. I'm going to stamp off. And then I just want to do this lower section here. Perfect. And I'm just going to clean up where it's gone onto my mat so that I don't get any on my layout or on my clothes. Love that. Love that. So then I want to actually do some splatters as well. And like I said, I did a little bit of a practice, so hopefully this is going to work. I don't have a great brush for it, so this is the only brush that I've got. And don't have all the amazing tools, but this is what I've got. So you can always work out a way to do it. So I did, like I said, I did do a practice. I'm just going to pop a little bit of the ink onto my stamping block here. And I'm just going to spray some water. Move that away from there because I've already got a few splatters from doing that, which is fine. I'm happy with that. Then I've got my brush. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the ink. I'll just show you on my little test strip here. It's so easy to do. It's better with a finer fan brush, but I'll have to get myself one. and then you just need to tap it off. You probably can't see because I've already got the splatters on there, but you'll get all different size splatters. So I'm just going to do that, and I don't mind that I get it on the background here as well. So I'm just going to tap that around. Like I said, you can probably hardly even see it because of the colour. Need a bit more water on it. There we go. A bit more water. And I just want it just a slight little splatter in the background there. Let's add a bit more water. Not the best brush for it. Okay, so I've done some splatters, I've done some text in my background there. I'm going to just have a bit of a play around with my placement. I might even be able to cut that part off because I really just like that part of the rose showing. I might put the other part down the bottom here. So I might just even fussy cut that out. And what I'm going to do is I've got some little banners down the bottom. So I want to layer a few of those. So these are like the little strips that I'd cut off the top that I've still got here. So I've got a few little ones. So I might just do a couple of little clusters of those and trim this one a little bit thinner. And we'll make some little clusters under there as well. So what I might do is I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to adhere the photo mount down so then we can start finishing off our placement and yeah, do some final little touches to it. All right, so just been having a little bit of a play with my placement there. I fussy cut that mask down. Now in the sketch, I've got some little journal spots here, but I sort of thought, oh, let's continue with this bunting sort of theme, and I thought maybe we could just change things up a little bit. So I've just cut out some buntings. I'm just going to ink the edges of those too, just to add a bit of colour. And then once I know what photo I am popping on there, I can stamp my title onto it, put some journaling as well. And then I've just got to adhere the roses down in the background there. I might even just go around the edges a bit, add a bit more inking, a bit more, my little scrap paper, piece of paper, add a bit more ink. You can never have enough ink, if you ask me. Add a bit more. It's a bit more depth to the page. Do a bit more up in this corner. And more down here. And then so I'm going to just adhere these down, and we're ready then to have a landing spot for our title, a bit of journaling to add to it once I've got my photo down. So I might even pop these on some foam dots as well, give a bit of dimension. So let's get that stuck down. Okay, so I've adhered all these things down, ready for my title, some journaling, a stamp, whatever I decide once I get my photo. And I thought I'll just finish off with a couple of these beautiful little gem stickers. So I'm just going to finish off with a couple of them. And then maybe trying to pick sort of the colours that'll work with. Maybe a couple down the bottom here as well. I like to try and do them randomly. And like I said, all ready for my title and journaling. Had fun doing this one, some stenciling, some splatters, inking. Yeah, it's a beautiful paper range. And don't mind my dog having a bark in the background there, but beautiful. I absolutely love this mask. It is just gorgeous. If you would like more information about getting that mask, please reach out, or any of the products that I've used. I will pop a link in the description of where you can find them all, but please reach out and ask any questions. And I've had fun doing that next sketch. So again, this is the sketch that we've worked on today, and just made it our own. So I love that about sketches. Start with a base like that and then make it your own. That's a great way to get inspiration and get your creative things happening. So let me know if you've got any questions. Please hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate your support, and chat back soon for my next sketch challenge. See you all later. Bye.